Hi there. If you are watching this video, it means that you are visiting the website for Friends of James Moody, which is a memorial to our friend James. And I've knew James a few years ago. He and I were both members of Oddfellows, and so that kind of started this project long ago in different ways. And I hope that you like the project. And if you're a friend of James, then I think that you'll see that it is a very fitting and lasting memorial that you'll want to be a part of. So let me give you a little bit more of background. So I met James in Oddfellows, and he and I were both very interested in growing the number of lodges of Oddfellows in our area, and we both worked on projects to help the community because that's something that Oddfellows do. And I started working very closely with him, and then about a couple years later, he passed away unexpectedly. And so I wanted to find some way to honor him, and I had this idea from some time ago. So, by the way, my name is Joseph Benton, and the idea that I have is actually something that is going to go to the living desert. So, uh, basically, this is going to be something that, in talking with the living desert, they do memorials for people, and I'll show you what that will look like. I'll give you an idea what that looks like in just a second. The um, the folks there have memorials, and the way that they had it set up was is that you would have to pay something every year to keep this memorial going. And I asked them, I said, look, in 20 years, there may not be anybody paying this, money. How much would it cost to actually have something that will last beyond, my lifetime? And so they gave me the final price on what it is. So it was going to be like I think $500 every year. So if you figure out the cost of like 20 years, that's $10,000. So I asked them, how much would it be to actually have it last forever? And so they said it would be $10,000. So 20 years worth of payments. So I thought to myself, okay, I know that I can raise that amount of money. And I know that there are other groups of people who know James um, in Oddfellows specifically. We're great at raising money and things like that. That's something that Oddfellows do. We do things like raise money to help those in need. And also, we're just good at fundraising. So the idea was to come up with this fundraiser so that we would have this memorial that would last more than a lifetime. And so the idea was is that we would have 10 different groups of people who would give money to the Living Desert. So the Living Desert, let me show you here, Living Desert. Living Desert is actually a nonprofit organization. They are a zoo that is out in the Palm Springs area, and they feature a bunch of desert animals and enclosures that are meant to replicate the natural habitat of the uh, the where the animals live in their nature. So they're from all over the world, different animals, and so they do a lot of really great conservation efforts and research and things like that. And so you can go to livingdesert.org and learn more about them if you like. And so one of the things that they have there, which allows you to have a memorial, is this thing that's called the Bighorn Railroad. So let me see here under memorials and tributes. Let me see if I can find it there. Memorial gift. Is it there? Okay, that's not exactly it. Other ways to give. Okay, so I'm not exactly finding it here, but I do know that it does exist. So let me show you here. Let me see, Bighorn Railroad. This is how you can get there if you want to see this for yourself. Bighorn Railroad. Okay. Oh, So this is the Bighorn Railroad. It's actually much bigger than this, and I have a video I'm going to play of it. for you so that you get to see it. So, anyways, you can check it out. It's online, and let me share the video here with you. Okay, so here's the video of the actual um, Bighorn Railroad in action. So, as you look at this, you can see that there are a number of little houses that are on the Bighorn Railroad. And so let me bring together the different ideas now so you can understand what I'm talking about. This railroad I have seen for a number of years, and I think it's really cool. And I've always noticed there is no Oddfellows building there. So, since there is no Oddfellows building there, um, it made me wonder, like, why? And so, as it turns out, they just never had one that was made. Um, and as far as I know, they actually never had an Oddfellows in that particular area. So whoever it was that put this thing together probably never thought about it. Now, in the little town that I live in, Lompoc, California, which is just outside of Vandenberg Space Force Base, um, we have an Oddfellows building, and it's in the middle of our downtown. And like so many hundreds and hundreds of towns across California and across the country, there are thousands and thousands of lodges, buildings. And so these lodges, buildings, usually have two features. Okay, so this is the first one, is that it's usually a two-story structure, maybe three, but usually two-story structure. The top part is used by the Oddfellows for their lodge. The bottom floor is rented out to someone. So now this is where the whole thing comes together. If you take a look here, this is a representation of a building that was built by an Oddfellow. And this is going to be James's memorial. So as you can see at the top here, it says IOOF with the three links for the Oddfellows, and the first floor is a business rented out to Moody's Clock Shop. So let me show you here, make that even bigger. So as you can see, this is going to be a nice fitting memorial. Now, you may not have known this, that James had a clock shop in Morro Bay where he lived. Um, and so this is my way of memorializing him. So you can see here on the left, this is the stairway that leads up to the Oddfellows Lodge. And this is the business down below. And so then this is where the lodge is. Now, um, since I noticed that there was no, this is the side of it, by the way. Since I noticed that there was no actual Oddfellows building there, the thought occurred to me: if I wanted to have this memorial, then there would certainly be Oddfellows who are interested in, paying part of this donation to the Living Desert just to have an Oddfellows building there. So historically speaking, it's kind of a good idea. And so having the Moody's clock shop at the bottom is the perfect way to memorialize James. So the idea is pretty simple. We're going to have this building put in, which was built by an Oddfellow, and we're going to have it put into the Living Desert. And instead of paying, $10,000 and $500 a year, we're going to actually have groups of people that are going to raise $1,000 each or more, and that money will go to the Living Desert. And then once they've collected their $10,000, then we can install this building. And anytime that you or anyone goes out to Palm Springs and you visit the Living Desert, then you'll be able to see exactly what it is that this looks like. Now, I want to show you something really cool here. Living Desert Christmas lights. It's actually called Wild Lights. So they have this thing that's called Wild Lights, and it's a really great. I don't know why there's not a. There we go. It's a really great, fun thing because hold on, here we go. Skip ads. Okay, so this is what they do every year, and It's wonderful to go out here during Christmas time, somewhere between Thanksgiving and New Year's, and see all of the really beautiful Christmas lights. And you get to visit the zoo, of course. The animals are still in their enclosures. Not all of them are awake, but it's really a fun thing to do. And so, if you ever go out to the Living Desert and you see this wild lights display, you can also visit the Bighorn Railroad. And if you go to the Bighorn Railroad, then you'll be able to see this little building that we're going to have um, memorialized for James. So there's a giraffe, and there's some of the other animals at night that you would see if you were there. So, anyways, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a sneak preview of what the wild lights looks like, because it's really great. And they also have a lot of music. And the last time that I was there, they had live music as well as pre-recorded. And this here looks like the cheetah exhibition. This one here. I may be wrong about that, but anyways, that's the gist of it. So you get the idea. So again, all you would have to do if you want to participate is declare that you're going to raise $1,000 with your friends, with your group, with your coworkers, whatever it is that you would like to do. You can show them this video. You can try to summarize this whole idea. It's like I said, it's a memorial that will last beyond a lifetime for James, and you can be a part of it. And on this website, I will list the parties. Oh, there is the railroad. Oh, they just showed it here. There's the railroad. This is the railroad with the wild lights. So, anyways, um, uh, pretty simply, I will list your name and the amount that you contribute to this project on this website. And if you are going to contribute, your group, you have a group, you want to contribute, send me a message down below, and I will list you and your party and the amount that you're going to raise. And then when you raise it, well, then I will make sure that it's been noted, and I will track the progress and all that. So this is a virtual fundraiser. And again, the payments go to the Living Desert. They are a nonprofit organization, and they are primarily about conservation and zoo. And they're wonderful, and they're a great place to visit during the day. And during the holiday season, they're really great to visit because of the wild lights. So I encourage you to be a friend of James Moody. And by the way, there will be a little plaque where there's the building. There will be a little plaque, and it will have friendsofjamesmoody.com on it, so that people who read the plaque can actually come to this website, and they will see who it is that contributed to James. And I would like to eventually make some kind of a video about James, and I think that would be kind of a partially fitting tribute to him on this website too. So this website and also the building will be a fitting tribute for James, and I'd like you to be a part of it. And if you have any questions, you can contact me on the forum below. And if you would like to be a part of it, then let me know below, and I'll post your information. You can also say, like, if you don't want to have your name or your group that's going to contribute, you want to be anonymous, it's okay. I'll just put anonymous. But do let me know, and share this with your friends. Let them know that this is something that not only helps the Odd Fellows, because we'll have our representation at the Bighorn Railroad, but also is something that will memorialize James. And James really loved Odd Fellows. And I also have this really great idea, and I haven't implemented it yet. But James was on active duty in the Navy, and I want to get like a big old boat anchor. Let me see here if I can do this. Okay. Next to this building here, if I can show you this here, I would like to have a big old, what would be a life-size boat anchor in front of this building right here. I'd like to get one and just stick it right there. And that would represent James's naval service. I think that would be fitting as well. So that's an idea that we haven't finalized yet. Oh, there's a little anchor there in the window. But anyways, we'll see what we can do. I think it'd be wonderful to have an actual boat anchor there, a ship's anchor. And well, we'll go from there. Contact me down below and let me know what you think of this project. And let me know if you would like to be part of the fundraising so that we can have something that will last beyond a lifetime to honor our friend, James Moody. Thank you.